We are going to do drainage today. Just open your readers and we are going to, I'm going to share my screen and I think we'll start and others may join accordingly. Okay. Okay, what do you understand by drainage? Okay, now drainage does not mean that gutter pipe that we have in our houses. Okay, now the describes the river system of an area. Okay, so this is what we mean by drainage, the river system of an area. Okay, now we will notice the small streams following the different directions come together. There are strong, you see that there are river flows like that, okay? And there are some streams that are coming and some terrains that are going over, going from here in different directions, okay? So, which ultimately drains into a large water body such as a lake or a sea or an ocean. The area drained by a single river system is called the drainage basin. Okay, the area drained by a single river system is called a drainage basin. Everybody understand? Anybody wants to read? Yukta, you want to read?
My throat is a bit paining, so is it fine if I
Okay,
don't?
no problem, no problem, no problem. Jitendra, I want you to read. You okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Start. The term drainage describes the river.
The term drainage describes the river system of an area. Look at the physical map. You'll notice that small streams flowing from different directions come together to form the large main river, which ultimately drains into a large water body such as lake or a sea or an ocean. The area drained by a single river system is called drainage basin. A closer observation on a map will indicate that any elevated area such as mountain or an upland separates two drainage basins such as upland. Such an upland is known as water divide.
Okay, just hold on. Now let me explain to you what is water divide. So see, the river flowing here, a river is flowing here, and usually there is a division here. So this could be divided by a mountain, okay, or it could be an upland, like a raised land. So this is called the water divide. See, there is a stream here, there is a stream here, and in this in between is water divide. So you might get a question like, what is water divide? Okay, so just read this. You will understand what is a water divide. Yeah, Jitendra, read.
What is meant by water divide? An area that is elevated or is an upland like mountains, a hill, plateau, terrain or any land area which is higher than the land area surrounding is separated into two water bases and divides the basin into two portions is known as water divide. Water divide is known by various names like watersheds, ridgelines, and land elevations. On rugged lands, the splits are along the ridges of the terrain and can take the form of a single chain of hills or mountains known as dividing ranges or split chains. separations can be difficult to see on flat terrain, especially if the ground is wetlands.
Okay, okay, it's okay. Now I'll explain. Now everybody understand what is the water divide here. You have this stream here, one stream here, one stream here, and this may be divided here in between by a mountain or an upland. So this is called water divide. Now let me tell you about the different drainage systems in India. The drainage system of India are mainly controlled by broad relief features of the subcontinent. Accordingly, the Indian rivers are divided into two major groups. Okay, the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers. Okay, now okay, so apart from originating from, let's talk about first the Himalayan rivers. Apart from originating from the two major physiographic regions of India, the Himalayan and the peninsular rivers are different from each other in many ways. Most of the Himalayan rivers are perennial. Perennial means that they have water throughout the year. Okay, so they have water throughout the year. These rivers receive water from rain as well as from melted snow from the lofty mountains. The two major Himalayan rivers are Indus and the Brahmaputra, originated from the north of the mountain ranges. They have cut through the mountains, making gorges. Gorges means that the river that is come through by cut in the mountains. If you have gone to a hill station, you must have often come across gorges. So the Himalayan rivers have long courses from their sources to the sea. They perform intensive erosional activity, means they drain the soil with them while flowing from the mountains. Activity in their upper course and carry huge loads of silt and sand. In the middle and the lower course, these rivers form meanders, oxbow, lakes, and many other dispositional features in their floodplains. They also have well-developed details. So we have seen here. So now here we see a mount when we see India. Okay, now you see the mountain ranges. Now here the river flows. It flows all the way, like you see Gangotri, all the way towards the northeast. So this is the source of the river. This is the upper course, and then is the middle course, and then the meander. Okay, now this is the box lower course, and then this is the delta that here it flows into the sea. Okay, often if you see from here to here, you can see we can take an example of Ganga. It emerges from Gangotri and it falls into the Bay of the Bengal. So, okay, a large number of the peninsular rivers, now we'll talk about the peninsular rivers, are seasonal. So they, when there is no rain, these rivers get dried up. As their flow is dependent on rainfall during the dry season, even the large rivers have reduced flow of water in their channels. The peninsular rivers have shorter and shallower courses as compared to their Himalayan counterparts. Okay, now however, some of them originate in the central highlands. Okay, that is in the you can say the central highlands and flow towards the west. That is, if you see the map of India, okay, they'll flow from here and they go towards the west and flow towards the west. Can you identify two such large rivers? Most of the rivers of peninsular India originate in the Western Ghats and flow towards the Bay of Bengal. So from the Western Ghats they flow to the towards the Bay of Bengal. Okay, now we are going to talk in detail about the Himalayan rivers. The major Himalayan rivers are the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra. Okay, just highlight this in your. We have the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra. Okay, now these rivers are long and are joined by many large and important tributaries A river along with its tributaries may be called a river system. So first we'll go through the Indus river system. Okay, we'll first go through the Indus river system. The river Indus rises in Tibet near Lake Mansarovar. Okay, now flowing west, it enters India in the Ladakh. Okay, it forms a picturesque gorge in this part. Several tributaries, the Zaskar, the Nubra, the Shyok, and the Hunza, join it in the Kashmir region. Okay, okay, now you see the flow. Let me see. I have, yes. Okay, okay, let me give you the point first. So it rises in Tibet near Mansarovar from Bokhar Chu Glacier in the Kailash mountain range and flows west entering India in Ladakh. Its total length is 2,900 kilometers and a little over a third flows in India. Okay, now left bank are tributaries are the Zaskar, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bias, Satluj, etc. Okay, and the right bank, Shylock, Hansa, Gilet, Kurram, Gomal. Okay, now it flows through the popularly known northern areas of Pakistan, Balistan, and Gilet, and emerges its way through the mountain in at Attock. Making its way to Pakistan, the Satluj, the Bees, the Ravi, the Chenab, and the Jhelum accompany it while entering the Indus near Mithankot. The Indus River finally discharges into the Arabian Sea in the southern province of Pakistan. Okay, so let us see in the reader where it is. Okay, so let me see if they have given. Okay, they don't have it. Okay. So in the reader, we have the Indus Plain has a gentle slope with a total length of 2,900 kilometers. The Indus is one of the longest rivers of the world. Okay, remember this. A little over a third of the Indus basin is located in India, Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Punjab, and the rest is in Pakistan. So it flows from here and it falls in the Arabian Sea. Okay. Next we have the Ganga River. The headwaters of the Ganga, called the Bhagirathi, is fed by the Gangotri glacier and joined by the Alaknanda at Devaprayag in Uttarakhand. At Haridwar, the Ganga emerges from the mountains onto the plains. All of you are getting it? Okay, now the Ganga is joined by the tributaries from the Himalayas, a few of them being major rivers such as the Yamuna, the Ghagra, the Gandak, and the Kosi. The river Yamuna rises from the Yamunotri glacier in the Himalayas. It flows parallel to the Ganga and as a right bank tributary meets the Ganga at Allahabad. The Ghagra, the Gandak, and the Kosi rise in the Nepal Himalaya. They are the rivers which flood parts of the northern plains every year, causing widespread damage to life and property, whereas they enrich the soil for agricultural use. The main tributaries which come from the peninsular uplands are the Chambal, the Betwa, and the Son. These rise from semi-arid areas having shorter courses and do not carry much water in them. Find out where and how they ultimately join the Ganga. Enlarged with the waters from its right and left bank tributaries, the Ganga flows eastward from Farakka in West Bengal. This is the northernmost point of the Ganga Delta. Okay, the river bifurcates here. The Baigatri Hooghly distributary flows southwards through the deltic plains to the Bay of Bengal. The main stream flows southwards into the Bangladesh and is joined by the Brahmaputra further downstream. It is known as the Meghna. This mighty river with waters from the Ganga and the Brahmaputra flows into the Bay of Bengal. The delta formed by these rivers is known as the Sundarban Delta. Okay, now let's count the head stream of Ganga is called the Baigatri and is fed by the Gangotri, that is starting uh, from the so the flow is, let me tell you, the flow comes here. Okay, it starts from the Gangotri. Okay, and it flows towards West Bengal. Okay, now here you have it joins here, Brahmaputra joins here. Okay, now here they fall into Bay of Bengal. But here it forms a delta. Okay. Okay, now the Ganga thereby emerges from the mountains, finding its way to the plains of one of the most religiously known, well-known lands on earth, that is Haridwar. Now the Ganga stretches over the area with an immense length of 2,500 kilometers. The plain that divides the water between the Indus and the Ganga is where Ambala is located. The plains over the length of 1,800 kilometers stretch from Ambala to the Sundarbans. Ambala is in Punjab. Okay, it develops large meanders during its middle course. Major tributaries, left tributaries are the Yamuna, the Gagra, the Gandak, the Kosi, and the right tributaries are Chambal, the Bitwa, and Son. It flows eastward till Farakka in West Bengal. Okay, it flows here. You can say where it joins here at Farakka in West Bengal. Which is the northernmost point of the Ganga Delta. So this delta is, that is when it, before it flows into the Bay of Bengal, the delta is the Ganga Delta. Okay. Flowing towards the south, crossing the deltic plains to the Bay of Bengal, the river bifurcates into the Baigati Hooghly, a distributary. Okay, it's a distributary. The enormously mighty river, accompanied along with water from the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, okay, find its way into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, this one from here it is. From here it is, this one is, you can say, Brahmaputra. Okay, this joins together and then here they form the Ganga Delta. The enormously mighty river, accompanied with the water from the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, find its way into the Bay of Bengal, whereas the delta formed and created by these rivers are known as the Sundarban Delta. Okay, see, the delta in the end is where it falls in the Bay of Bengal, it is called the Sundarban Delta. Okay, next we are going to study about the Brahmaputra river. Any Sampath, can you read this? The Brahmaputra river system?
Yes, ma'am. The Brahmaputra river system. The Brahmaputra rises in Tibet east of the Mansarovar lake, very close to the sources of Indus and Satluj. It is slightly longer than Indus and most of its course lies outside India. It flows eastward parallel to the Himalayas. On reaching the Namcha Barwa, it takes a U-turn and enters India in Arunachal Pradesh through a gorge. Here it is called the Dihang and is joined by the Dibang, the Lohit and many other tributaries to form the Brahmaputra in Assam. In the Tibet, the river carries a small volume of water and less silt as it is a cold and a dry area. In India, it passes through a region of high rainfall. Here, the river carries a large volume of water and considerable amount of silt. The Brahmaputra has braided channel in its entire length in Assam and forms many riverine islands. Do you remember the name of the world's largest riverine island formed by the Brahmaputra? Every year during the rainy season, the river overflows its bank, causing widespread devastation due to floods in Assam and Bangladesh. Unlike other North Indian rivers, the Brahmaputra is marked by huge deposits of silt on its bed, causing the riverbed to rise. The river also shifts its channels frequently.
Okay, let's read the peninsular rivers. Now we have done, these were the Himalayan river system. Now we'll go through the peninsular rivers. Okay, continue.
Yes, ma'am. The main water divides the peninsular India is formed by the Western Ghats, which runs from the north to south, close to western coast. Most of the major rivers of the peninsula, such as the Mahanandi, the Godavari, the Krishna, and the Kaveri flow eastwards and drain into the Bay of Bengal. These rivers make deltas at their mouths. There are numerous small streams flowing west of the Western Ghats. The Narmada and the Tapi are the only long rivers which flow west of the Western Ghats. The Narmada and the Tapi rivers are only the drainage basins of the peninsular rivers are comparatively smaller in size.
The Narmada basin.
Okay, ma'am. The Narmada rises in the Amarkantak Hills in Madhya Pradesh. It flows towards the west in a rift valley formed due to faulting. On its way to sea, the Narmada creates many pi- picturesque locations. The Marble Rocks near Jabalpur, where the Narmada flows through a deep gorge, and the Duhadar Falls, where the river plunges over steep rocks, are some of the notable ones.
Yeah.
All tributaries of the Narmada are very short, and most of these join the main stream at right angles. The Narmada basin covers parts of Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. Ma'am, should I continue the Tapi
Yeah,
basin?
continue. The Tapi basin.
The Tapi Basin. Tapi Basin. The Tapi rises in the Satpura ranges in the Betul district of Madhya Pradesh. It also flows in a rift valley parallel to the Narmada, but it is much shorter in length. Its basin covers parts of Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Maharashtra. The coastal plains between Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea are very narrow. Hence, the coastal rivers are short. The main west flowing rivers are Sabarmati, Mahi, Bharat, Pusha, and Periyar. Find out the states in which these rivers drain the water.
The Godavari basin.
The Godavari Basin. The Godavari is the largest peninsular river. It rises from the slopes of the Western Ghats in Nasik district of Maharashtra. Its length is about 1500 kilometers. It drains into Bay of Bengal. Its drainage basin is also the largest among the peninsular rivers. The basin covers parts of Maharashtra. About 50% of the basin area lies in Maharashtra. Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh. The Godavari is joined by a number of tributaries such as the Purna, the Vardha, the Pranhita, the Manjra, the Vainganga, and the Penganga. The last three tributaries are very large because of its length and the area it covers. It is also known as the Dakshin Ganga.
Okay,
The
the Mahanadi basin. Yes.
Mahanandi Basin. The Mahanandi rises in the highlands of the Chhattisgarh. It flows through Odisha to reach The Bay of Bengal. The length of the river is about 860 kilometers. Its drainage basin is shared by Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Odisha. The Krishna Basin, rising from a spring near Mahabaleshwar, the Krishna flows for about 1,400 kilometers and reaches the Bay of Bengal. The Tungabhadra, the Koyana, the Ghat Prabha, the Must, and the Bhima are some of its tributaries. Its drainage basin is shared by Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. The Kaveri Basin. The Kaveri rises in the Brahmagiri range of the Western Ghats and it reaches the Bay of Bengal in the south of Kudalore in Tamil Nadu. The total length of the river is about 750 kilometers. Its main tributaries are the Amravati, Bhavani, Hemavati, and Kabini. The basin drains parts of Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. Besides these major rivers, there are some smaller rivers flowing towards the east. The Damodar, the Brahmani, the Baitarni, and the Subarnarekha are some of the notable examples. Look at them in Atlas.
Okay, so let me give you the notes about the peninsula. Okay. Okay, so many peninsular rivers are seasonal and their flow depends on the rainfall. These have shorter and shallower course. Some of them appear in the central mountains and flow towards the west. Okay, now the main water peak in peninsular form is formed by the Western Ghats, and most of the peninsular rivers flow into the Bay of Bengal and make delta in on their mouth. The Narmada and the Tapi are the long rivers which flow west to form arms. The drainage basin of the peninsular rivulets are comparatively lesser in size. Okay, the main west flowing rivers are Sharavati, Narmada, Sabarmati, Mahi, Tapti, Bratpuza, and Priyar, while the east flowing rivers are Godavari, Krishna, Damodar, Brahmi, Baitarni, Vamsadra, the Pennar, the Palar, the Vegai, and the Su and Sabarnika, Sabarrekha. Okay, now let's talk about the Narmada Basin. The main points are it rises in the Amarkantak Hills in Madhya Pradesh and flows towards the west in a valley formed due to faulting. Okay, the picturesque locations are the Marble Rock that is in Jabalpur, and now here the river flows through a deep gorge. Okay, next is the Dhwandar Falls, and here the river plunges over steep rocks. All its tributaries are very short and most of these join the main stream at right angles. And its basins covers parts of Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. After flowing a distance of about 1,312 kilometers, it meets the Arabian Sea south of Bharuch. Next is the Tapi Basin. The Tapi rises in the Satputra ranges and the Betkul quarter of the Madhya Pradesh and drains into the Arabian Sea through the Gulf of Khambat. In a length of around 724 kilometers, the river flows through the states of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and Gujarat. It flows through Surat and is crossed by ONGC bridge. It flows in a rift valley, and the other river which flows through the rift valley is the Narmada River. Three peninsular rivers flow through the rift of the valley, namely Narmada, Tapi, and Mahi. Running from east to west, its basin covers the corridor of Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Maharashtra. Okay, next is the Godavari Basin. Now, it is the largest peninsular river and rises from the slopes of the Western Ghats and in the Nasik district of Maharashtra. Flowing for almost 1,465 kilometers, the river first flows eastwards across the Deccan Plateau, then turns southeast, thereby entering West and East Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh and finally empties into the Bay of Bengal at Narsapur in West Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh. The basin covers a wide area of, in Maharashtra. Around 50% of the basin area lies in Maharashtra. The right bank tributaries are Pravara, Manjira, Manair, Kinner, Kinnerasani, etc. West bank tributaries are Purna, Pranahita, Indravati, Tliperus, Sabri, etc. The Manjra, the Venganga and the Penganga are large tributaries. It's known as the Dakshin Ganga because of its length and zone it covers. Okay, now the Mahanandi Basin. It rises in the heights of Chhattisgarh and flows through Odisha. It is the lifeline of people in Odisha. The length of the rivulet is around 860 kilometers. Its drainage basin is shared by Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and Odisha. Left bank tributaries are Sionath, Mand, Eb, Hasdeo, etc. Right bank tributaries are ONG, Pari, Jong, Telen, etc. Okay, the river ends at the false point. Okay, now the last we have the Krishna basin. Okay, now it rises from a spring near Mahabaleshwar, which flows east for about 1400 kilometers. Its drainage basin is shared by Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. Left bank tributaries are Bhima, Dindi, Peddavagu, Musi, Paleru, Munneru, etc. You will have to mug up these names, okay? They are difficult. Right bank tributaries are Kundli, Venna, Koyana, uh, Panchganga, Dudganga, Ghatparbha, Malparbha, and Tungabhadra. It empties into the Bay of Bengal at Hamsala Devi in Andhra Pradesh on the east coast. Okay, now the Kaveri Basin, it rises in the Brahmagiri range of the Western Ghats and its total length is 760 kilometers. It reaches the Bay of Bengal south of Guddalore in Tamil Nadu. Left bank tributaries are Harangi, Hemavati, Himsha, Arkavati. Okay, now right bank tributaries are Lakshamana, Trita, Kabini, Bhavani, Noyal, Amravati, Moyar, etc. Its basin drains Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. Okay, now the conclusion. The peninsular rivers are the lifeline of central and south India. The main water peak in peninsular India is formed by Western Ghats, where the flow of these peninsular rivers is seasonal due to the dependency of rainfall. Narmada, Tapi, Mahanandi, Krishna, Kaveri, and Godavari are the major basins of peninsular India. The Narmada basin covers parts of the western parts of Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat and rises in the Amarkantak hills, whereas the Tapi basin rises in the Satpura ranges in the Betul quarters of Madhya Pradesh, and it covers a part of the Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat and Maharashtra. The Godavari is the largest peninsular river and it rises from the slopes of the Western Ghats in Nasik district and covering length of 1500 kilometers. Similarly, the Mahanandi rises in the heights of Chhattisgarh and flows through Odisha, whereas the Krishna basin is participated by Maharashtra, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh and flows east for about 1400 kilometers. The Kaveri rises in the Brahmagiri range of Western Ghats and reaches south of Kuddalore in Tamil Nadu. These rivers are essential for the socio-cultural and economic growth of the nation. Okay. Okay, we've done the reading and we have there is we've done a little expression. Next class, I will take the question and answers. What are the important question and answers, and we will discuss the answers. Okay, and also I will share the notes with you in next class after we finish over. So you don't have to. You must read the chapter, but it will be. I'll send you the notes, and you can. If you study the notes, then it will be easier for you to answer any question. But I will share questions with you. Anybody has any doubt? Yeah, Yukta, you have any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, then we'll end the class now. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, I'll request all of you all to please read the chapter. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Bye bye. Good night.
Ma'am, good night.